I'm Trev Alviz. I am a full-time artist and animator, and if you're new here, welcome. Have a seat. Comic Trash Video Rentals is my fictional animated video rental store that stocks movies that never existed, but really should. You join us as we start work on movie number 3, the first two being Truck Stop Succubus, Bug Hunt at Outpost 31. Both these editions sold out, and the collectors who picked them up got to vote on which movie from the list gets made next. And they chose violence, because the next Atomic Trash release is Bikini Bowling Bloodbath Babes. Right now, all I've got is a title, a genre, and a loose premise. Everything else, we're going to build from here. I'll document the entire creation of the movie, from the idea to the VHS physical to the animated trailer. In this first episode, we'll explore the inspiration and the early design process for the VHS cover art. So let's dive into Bikini Bowling Bloodbath Babes, and more importantly, where it came from. Firstly, we need to define what this movie is. When I first came up with the movie title, I envisioned it being 1980s splatter horror movie. I knew the tone and the genre straight away, but there are 3 movies in particular that define the DNA of what I want this movie to be. Firstly, the biggest influence, especially visually, is 1985's Return of the Living Dead.
The Return of the Living Dead.
That movie is pure punk rock horror. It's loud, it's chaotic, it's funny, and it's confident in what it is. What I really love about this movie is that the violence never feels like punishment. It's slapstick, it's spectacle. It's like the punchline to the joke. You're not meant to be scared. If anything, you're meant to want to rewind the tape just to watch that moment again. And it's winking at the audience throughout, but it's not undermining itself. We want that punk attitude over plausibility.
Hey, these things don't leak, do they?
Leak? Hell no. These things were made by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Second big influence is the Slumber Party Massacre from 1982.
No one's getting any sleep the night of the Slumber Party Massacre.
On the surface, this movie feels like any other standard sleazy slasher. Girls in a house, killer on the loose, typical VHS era exploitation. But it's quietly doing something smarter.
Let's read the fridge.
Come on, I want to get out of here. I don't know what it is, but something about this house gives me the creeps.
Spoil sport. I never have any fun. Just one little beer.
Courtney, you're underage. Negative, but come on, let's go.
What makes this movie interesting, especially for its time, was how it flips expectations. The women aren't just passive victims, and the killer isn't seen as mythic or glamorous. What matters to me here is structure. The Slumber Party Massacre understands exploitation tropes well enough to be able to subvert them, but not do it in a way that winks at the audience, and that's important. I want that familiar exploitation setup, a vulnerable situation, but it's flipped fast and aggressively. The final influence is 1987's Blood Diner.
We're looking for a couple of psychos that like to pick on vegetarians. Any of your customers fit that description?
The Blood Diner. First they greet you, then they eat you.
What to say? The plot doesn't matter. The logic barely exists. The violence is so excessive it becomes cartoonish.
Make me a cripple, will ya? Cut off my hands and laugh about it, will ya? God damn it! I'm gonna get the cops! Yeah, we'll see who laughs last then! We'll see who laughs next to big shot restaurateurs!
All the good stuff, the severed heads, the flying body parts, and quantities of blood that don't make physical sense. But that's exactly the point.
Looks like someone had a do-it-yourself lunch meat party.
What this movie really cares about is excess. Mostly critics hated it, but video stores loved it. Blood Diner encapsulates exactly the kind of mindset I am trying to bring into atomic trash animation. To me, that movie is VHS first filmmaking, and it doesn't care if you like it or not.
Wow! Damn, that last match was awful. Only a priest ordained in the cult of Shitar has the proper skills to prepare this recipe.
The box art matters. The moments matter. Being remembered matters. Making sense? That's optional.
Excuse me. That's the best freaking veggie burger I've had in a son of a bitch long time.
If you mush these three movies together, Return of the Living Dead's punk energy, the Slumber Party Massacre's power flip, and Blood Diner's unapologetic splatter logic, that's where Bikini Bowling Bloodbath Babes lives. Before I illustrate anything, I need to understand the movie completely. Even if it never appears fully in the animation or in the artwork, I need to understand the plot, the tone, and the characters. I take the loose idea and refine it into a blurb that will live on the back of the physical VHS box.
The all-girl bowling team, the Ball Breakers, aren't ready to call it a night. When the local creeps get humiliated on the lanes, they strike back. But they picked the wrong girls to mess with. The Ball Breakers turn the night into a blood-soaked massacre, and it's the locals fighting to survive.
Now we can start illustrating. I've had two images in my mind for the VHS cover. Firstly, a bikini-clad girl holding a severed head like a bowling ball. Second idea was a cinematic shot of a severed head smashing into bowling pins in the foreground, and in the background we have the chaos of the bowling alley. Second felt more dynamic. It's got more of a VHS cover feel to it. I started with doing some research and looking up some bowling poses to gather some reference. In my mind, I was thinking of this dramatic pose when you throw the bowling ball, and none of them seemed to capture that. They weren't really giving me what I wanted, so I just abandoned realism and went back to my instincts, where I'm just gonna draw it the way I think it should look. It's not about accuracy, it's about energy. I also wanted a full panoramic wraparound VHS cover. The front flows into the spine and into the back in one single image. The Ball Breakers just wreaking havoc in this bowling alley. I blocked the composition out very loosely at first. At this stage, it's just about rough shapes. I'm looking for flow, where your eye moves naturally across the image. I slowly figure out what is working, and that's when I tighten up the line work with each pass. It's all well and good coming up with clever titles like Bikini Bowling Bloodbath Babes until you have to fit it in to a composition. The typography needs to be simple, it needs to be clean. We don't want any clever design, just something that's loud and screams grindhouse exploitation. When I figure out the title placement, I'm able to start adding some drop shadows, some heavy blacks, and really add weight to the line drawing. In the next vlog, we're going all in on color, shading, adding some grime, some VHS textures. We're going to take this line drawing and we're going to turn it into a fully finished VHS cover ready for the printers. So stick around, like and subscribe and all that nonsense, and I'll see you in the next one. If you've made it this far, I want to hear from you. Drop your favorite 80s splatter movies in the comments. Give me some recommendations. Now feck off.